So this week on More of This, we have the owners of Smart Charge, Kristy Craig and Nahja Clayton. How are y'all doing today?
Good, good. Thank you for having us.
I'm doing great.
Thank you all for joining me today. So we're just going to get into it. Tell us about your business and how you all came up with the idea to start it.
Tell you a little bit about Smart Charge first, and I'll let Nahja tell you about how we started it. But Smart Charge, we are a power bank rental company. And the best way to explain it is, have you ever left work from a long day and went to your favorite restaurant to have a drink or have your favorite meal, and you notice your phone, your battery is low. You're at your last 10%. So you have that red battery alerting you. And you start to get what is called low battery anxiety from having such a battery and losing connection to either your emails, your text messages, your calls. We place these stations like these here behind me in businesses that have a lot of traffic where people can go and rent a power bank on the go. And our power banks are equipped with 3 different cords. You have micro USB, you have Type-C, and also iOS lightning cord. So no matter the device, we're able to charge it. So if it's compatible with those 3 cords.
Awesome. So how did you all come up with the idea to start the business?
We were in China, which is where Kristy and I met. We were living and working in South China, Guangzhou, China. And while being there in the city, it's a huge city where people are always on the go. With us being in that type of environment and being in that type of culture where everybody is on the train or going here, going there, people are always out, and we kind of adapted to that culture. And while being there, every place we went to, we saw a charging station. At the beginning, I would see these stations and always wonder what it was, but it was just in the back of my mind, but I never asked about it. I just thought it was something else China has, because they have everything there. So one day I was at a restaurant and I needed a charger. And one of the people that were with us, they was like, oh, why don't you just go get one from one of the power bank stands? And I'm like, what? And there was like the little stands with the chargers. And then they pointed me in that direction. And I'm like, oh, so this is what this cool gadget is. This is, something I had never seen before. And it blew my mind, just like a lot of things in China blew my mind. I'm like, they just never seem to fail when it comes to new tech, innovative type things. So, and it was convenient and right on time for me. So after I experienced that, it was more of a thing where I just used it often. It was, I did think, oh, we need one of these in the States or whatever. And Kristy and I, even went, because she experienced it with me, we was like, yeah, we definitely need something like this. But we didn't say it initially that we're gonna do it, but it was just I guess a seed that was planted. And then later on down the line, months later, we revisited the conversation when we were getting ready to leave China. We was trying to think about what's the next plan when we get back home, what business, what can we do, what ideas, because we didn't want to come back to the States without really, accomplishing something bigger than just the experience.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of just transitioned and into the idea. And then right before we were leaving, we was like, listen, let's just do it. Let's just do the power bank and just go hard with it. And it's gonna work, because this has not happened before. It's never before seen, and we can change the game with it. So that was the birth of Smart Charge.
Because when it was at my sister's party was the first time I had seen it. And of course, I'm from Memphis, but I live in LA now. So did you all do any research to see, was it in the US, or did you already know that it wasn't something that's been in the US as of yet?
We definitely did our research. Before researching, I mean, we knew personally that we had never seen it in the South. I'm love, but I've been in Texas. I lived in Texas for over a decade prior to China, and it was something I had never seen. But after doing research, we did find that there are 3 or 4 other companies here in the States that are established as far as a power bank rental company, but these companies in the northern states. So New York, that company went over to I want to say Kansas, and then there's another company in, let's say, California, but I'm not sure of the actual city. But these companies have just gotten started. I want to say they started around 2019, 2020. Yeah, it's very new. It's not a lot of information as far as numbers and research on these companies that are here in the states. But again, there's only maybe 3 or 4 companies.
What has the entrepreneurship journey been like so far?
A never-ending list.
For sure.
It's fulfilling because we're putting in time and energy. And we want to make sure it's a quality business that's giving back. But it's definitely not a cakewalk.
So what have been some of the challenges that you faced as a new company?
Honestly, just since this is a different type of business, the biggest challenge is pretty much just getting the awareness out there. But even prior to that, as a startup, we run into roadblocks, especially financially, when there's so many different avenues that you can take as an established company when it comes to the financial assistance and different ways that you can get the funding that you need for a business that's already established versus a startup company. It's like going through hoops and ladders. So brand awareness, the financial side of things, just getting the funding. And also, even though I'm from Memphis and this is where we're starting, I wasn't living in Memphis prior to 6 months ago. So just getting the connections again and getting back in the who's who, of things, because it's really about all, they say it's not about what you know, it's who you know. All of those things come together, like it's about all of those things, because you can know people and they can get you in front of people, but if you're not, if you don't have everything, ready to go, when you're in front of those people, if you don't have all your ducks in a row, then just knowing that person doesn't really matter. If you don't have the finances, if you don't have, the paperwork, from getting started from the license and the, trademarking and all of this, tedious things. So there are a lot of different challenges and hurdles that we have faced. However, it's still been smooth sailing so far, and that actually scares me a little bit, because I'm like, it haven't even gotten shaky yet. A few things, but it's not to the point where it's like, we can't overcome it. Everything, like Kristy was saying earlier, it's just a never-ending checklist. So just as entrepreneurs, that your checklist doesn't end.
What has been the great parts about being an entrepreneur, like the beautiful moments that y'all have experienced so far?
I would say for me, just being able to utilize my time to things that I want to put my time towards, or my energy in. This business, my personal development, is just being able to work for yourself or have your own business. You're allowed so much more time.
And so I did see as well that you all have been able to place some stations at some locations in Memphis. So congratulations for one.
Thank you.
If a company wanted to reserve a station, what's their process? How would they reach out to you all to get a station inside of their business?
We have a website, we have email, we have social media where they can contact us, and we're in the field. So we go door to door, we talk to businesses, just to give them the convenience of just being able to talk to us on the spot and say yes or no right then and there. But the people that don't get to talk to us, on the spot, we have our website, smartchargeconnect.com. and our email is info@smartchargeconnect.com. So they simply just send in an inquiry and let us know if they want right now we have the 5 slot stations and the 12 slot stations available depending on the amount of volume or traffic that you have in your business. You will figure that out, but they just let us know, hey, we're interested, and we'll get them set up, and it's free of charge to the businesses, simply just to add another amenity to their establishment that's going to enhance their customers' experience, while also allowing us the space, and in return we give them free marketing. So that's pretty much the process for the businesses getting set up.
And my last question before we get into rapid fire would be, if you all had to describe your company in 3 words, what would it be?
Innovative, groundbreaking, and trailblazing.
We're going to do a quick game of rapid fire. The first one is Android or iPhone?
Easy. iPhone.
Martin or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Martin.
Fresh Prince. Big Willie.
So we got a Martin and a Fresh Prince. Okay, and the last one is your favorite place that you've traveled.
Jamaica.
Dubai.
We thank you all for joining us this week on this week's episode of More of This. And if anyone wants to know more about Smart Charge, check the description below.